Alrighty, we are live here for an emergency situation. We have an entirely unwarned and destructive tornado on the ground in the city of Fort Worth, Texas. We have a large and, again, potentially damaging tornado just west of I-35 West on the south side of Fort Worth. This is going directly through downtown Fort Worth, Texas. If you were on the east side of Fort Worth, Arlington, Irving, Bedford, Carrollton, and even the west side of Dallas, you need to be getting to your safe spot immediately. This is an unwarned but very clear destructive tornado. We've got a very clear inflow notch, obviously. Obvious velocity couplet there just off to the west of I-35, and that debris signature is, again, nothing to play around with. This tornado is picking up pieces of homes, trees, and whatever else, throwing it thousands of feet into the atmosphere, and that's what's reflecting back onto the radar there, that little blue blob. So, again, if you are just west of I-35, or if you're east of I-35 on the southeast side of Fort Worth, Texas, you need to be seeking shelter immediately in a sturdy building, away from windows, on the lowest floor in an interior room. This is an incredibly dangerous situation because this is one of the largest metros in the entirety of the country, and this is an unwarned tornado. This has likely been on the ground terrorizing residents of Fort Worth for the past several minutes. On the latest CC scan, we are seeing less of that debris being picked up into the atmosphere, but it does look like we still have some debris fallout at the very least on the east side of town. So, if you are in this area, again, you need to be getting to your safe spot immediately. This is an extremely clear, unwarned tornado. There have even been photos of this thing, guys. This may be, honestly, the unwarned tornado of the year. Last year it was obviously Whitman. This is ridiculous. Again, this is a clear-as-day tornado. It really doesn't get that much more clear from a radar standpoint as this right here, folks. So, again, if you are out here in this area, you got to make sure that you are seeking shelter immediately on the lowest floor of a sturdy building, away from windows, and in an interior room. Give me just a second here. Again, this is a tornado on the ground directly. At this point, it is in downtown Fort Worth, Texas. Again, right at the intersection of I-35 and I-30 is where your tornado is going to be located if it's still on the ground. That is an unbelievably clear hook echo there. Again, broad velocities, but still strong. And then again, you got your previous CC drop. At the very least, that was a brief tornado on the ground on the south side of Fort Worth. Again, entirely unwarned. There are photos of this thing. It's very clear that it's on the ground just from radar alone, but there are also photos of this thing. This is a destructive tornado, and again, potentially a deadly situation here for people in downtown Fort Worth. Again, areas next in line are going to be Bedford, Texas, Arlington, Texas, Carrollton, Texas, Flower Mound, Texas, the north side of Dallas. Again, this is a very classic embedded supercell in our line of thunderstorms moving across north central Texas right now. We do have a 5% tornado probability out for tonight's threat, but really we were expecting the tornado threat to take place earlier in the evening than this. At this point, we were mainly think that we were going to be watching out for significant damaging wind gusts because we didn't think that an embedded supercell was going to be able to produce a tornado unless it was in an environment that had significant SRH content. But, it happened, and this is one of our few spots that does have some of that significant SRH content. If we actually take a look at the storm relative helicity within the first 3 kilometers of the atmosphere in downtown Dallas-Fort Worth, you can see it's just over 300, which is very high. So even for, a QLCS supercell, it's going to be entirely possible for us to see a brief tornado out of that, and that's exactly what happened. It also helps, obviously, that we've got, a whole ton of CAPE within the first 3 kilometers of the atmosphere out here. You're looking at about 153 CAPE on the north side of Dallas-Fort Worth. So, again, this is a unfortunate situation, but it is now a reality that downtown Fort Worth, Texas is on the front lines for this tornadic supercell. And again, potentially still tornado-producing supercell in downtown Fort Worth. Again, this is not like one of those situations where we're watching this move through the suburbs. No, if the tornado is still on the ground, the hook echo is here. It is going to be directly in the metropolitan area of Fort Worth, Texas. It is going to be on Sundance Square in the center of town. Again, we don't believe it to still be on the ground most likely at this point, but it's entirely possible that there is still debris fallout associated with this supercell. So again, if you're out here, I mean, you've got to be seeking shelter. I mean, this is, again, an unfortunate situation where we had an unwarned tornado, which is obviously already something that you don't want to see, but whenever it's in one of the largest metros in the country, obviously that just adds another layer of danger for the folks out here. I mean, you can see very clearly that this tornado was on the ground for at least 5 to 10 minutes, again, at a very, very least. But, I mean, it was likely on the ground for even closer to 15, 20 minutes potentially. So even if this was just a weak tornado, we're likely going to end up seeing significant damage all across the south side of Fort Worth, Texas, from this supercell after the fact. Again, this is a emergency live stream here. I was not planning on going live tonight. Give me just a second. Okay. So again, I appreciate all you guys for tuning in tonight. If you're here, make sure to like and subscribe. I'm trying to get chat pulled up somewhere that I can read it. What's going on, everybody? Yeah, it's not even a tornado possible severe thunderstorm warning, but we just had a clear as day, at the very least, weak tornado move through the south side of Fort Worth. Again, if you have any family out here, make sure to give them a call or text, as this is again, incredibly heavily populated area. I mean, this is one of the more populated areas we've ever had to cover an emergency situation for. If we want to get too specific, it would be a little bit trickier since we weren't getting the most frequent of radar scans, but, ooh, that was a bad one. But it looks like the tornado touched down just southeast of Benbrook and kind of occluded off to the north, as we typically see with embedded QLCS supercells. So if you know anybody out here near 6th Avenue, Biddison Street, Fuller Avenue, again, the I-20 area just north of Edgecliff Village, I mean, that's the region that we're suspecting that this tornado went through. I bet if we turn on our power outage tracker map here, we can go ahead and see exactly how many folks we're looking at without power here. And I mean, yeah, it is a large margin. Even if we didn't just have that significant tornado move through there, it would likely be an elevated number anyway, just because of these excessive straight line damaging wind gusts. There's another bad one. But if we go ahead and turn off our severe thunderstorm watches, we can go ahead and show you guys the actual numbers here. So I guess we're going to have to turn off our flash flood watches as well. Or is that our regular flood watches, I guess? If we go ahead and zoom in on specific counties, Parker County, that holds Fort Worth, that we're suspecting just got impacted, at least in the eastern sections of the county, or excuse me, this does not hold Fort Worth, but the county just west of there where we're suspecting that the tornado did travel through for a brief period of time, currently has 2,000 customers without power. At the next update, we're likely going to see numbers come out for Tarrant County here, which is the county that actually holds Fort Worth, and we're likely going to see those numbers be in at least the thousands, potentially the tens of thousands. So, I mean, we're going to have to watch out for this over the next several minutes, but this is not something that you want to see ever, and especially not in this populated of an area. I mean, even the terminal radars out here, you could actually see an incredibly clear velocity couplet associated with this tornado, and obviously terminal radars can't handle too much, but it is worth noting that the velocities were breaking this thing. And I mean, you can still see that couplet relatively clearly there on the east side of Fort Worth as of the latest scan. Now, that was 2 minutes ago, but still, I mean, there is no doubt that that was at least briefly, significant tornado. I mean, that is, again, that is not a good situation in any way. I mean, it's a late Friday night in Metro Fort Worth. It's about as traffic heavy as you can get. So we'll, again, hope that everybody out here just saw that the storm was coming. They'd been watching the news a few days prior. That's why it's important to keep up on these events even before they happen. Because in a worst case scenario like this, you don't get the warning and there's a tornado anyways, you're going to want to wish that you had known what was going on beforehand. And I mean, this was a significant one. This was not a, tornado that just touched down for a couple minutes, damaged a couple of trees. This was on the ground for, at a bare minimum of 10 to 15 minutes. Again, debris signature was certainly there, although light. I mean, this was a significant situation. So again, we gotta hope that everybody took this situation as seriously as possible beforehand. Again, even if we didn't see that tornado roll through Fort Worth just now, we just had a 67-mile-an-hour wind gust. I'm a child. We just had a 67-mile-an-hour wind gust roll through the southeast side of Fort Worth associated with our line of thunderstorms here at the QLCS. And that was as of 13 minutes ago. That was just as the beginning of the storms were rolling through as our boundary moved through. No, it's not associated with the government shutdown because National Weather Service offices and essential services do stay running. Again, my hair is a mess right now, I'm aware, but we were not expecting to have to do this stream here. But yeah, I mean, that was a situation that we did not expect to see happen, or, we obviously didn't want to see it happen either. But, I mean, we are going to continue to watch this as it progresses off to the east-northeast. Again, the terminal radar here still showing a fairly strong velocity couplet at this point on the northeast side of the city. Again, now we're kind of getting into the suburbs. If you're in downtown Fort Worth at this point, the tornado has passed and occluded most likely, but you've still got to remain on high alert. You're still dealing with some of the heaviest rain that you're going to see with this system. Some significant damaging wind gusts still. And again, I mean, we are continuing to see not only brief QLCS tornadoes and some not so brief, but damaging wind gusts from 60 to 70 miles an hour all across north central Texas here with this line. We had a 66-mile-an-hour wind gust reported from Stephenville, Texas, as we just mentioned. Even as the line of storms was still approaching, just as the boundary moved through, we had damaging wind gusts up to 67 miles an hour reported on the east side of Fort Worth, near Cannondale. So, I mean, this is a significant line of storms here, guys. But yeah, I mean, this is not what we wanted to see. But yeah, I mean, there were photos and videos of this tornado. It was confirmed on radar. Again, even if we didn't have those photos and videos, a debris signature with a velocity couplet for 15 minutes in a row in a metro area, the largest metro area, literally where they are stationed, you think would be enough for them to issue that warning, but evidently not. I mean, this is, again, just one of those situations where we just have to hope that everybody took this as seriously as possible, even though they weren't given a proper heads up. And we kind of went live just as the tornado was occluding, but, I mean, it is still a very real possibility that those straight-line damaging wind gusts cause some problems as well. And again, there is an off chance where we still see another couple QLCS tornadoes in this region tonight. You got some broad areas of rotation in kind of central eastern Texas near Waco, Hillsboro. We're going to continue to watch this line of storms progress across eastern Texas overnight and into tomorrow morning. Now, after tomorrow morning, we're going to see another line of storms move through southeast Texas and southwestern Louisiana tomorrow evening, and that's also going to bring a tornado threat associated with it. We do have a 5% tornado probability highlighted for tomorrow across portions of the Gulf Coast. That goes all the way from far southwestern Mississippi down into sections of southeast Texas. So again, we're going to get done with our morning line of storms. There are our overnight line of storms by tomorrow morning. I actually wouldn't be shocked to see a couple of brief spin-up tornadoes along the Gulf Coast there if we do see any of these prefrontals as the HRRR is suggesting as of the 1Z. But if more specifically we go back to the 0Z, you can check out the HRRR run, and you see that after that line of storms move through, we're expecting another system to move through southeastern Texas later tomorrow night with potentially semi-discrete supercells in an incredibly highly unstable environment. If we take a look at the surface-based instability out here, you'll see that along areas on the Gulf Coast, if we can go back a couple hours, we're looking at values that are, for October, almost unheard of. Now, again, this is obviously the Gulf Coast of the United States, but I mean, you're looking at areas like 2,000, 3,000, in some spots even getting closer to 4,000 joules per kilogram of surface instability at 10 o'clock at night. I mean, that is insane. You've got your bulk shear values also very high with this event, and actually your main driver for tomorrow night's event is probably going to be your shear. You're going to be looking at shear within the first 6 kilometers of the atmosphere at around 80 knots, which is generally very high. But even just within the first, 0 to 3 kilometers of the atmosphere, you're going to be looking at values just slightly under that. I mean, it is an impactful environment that we're going to end up seeing tomorrow. So, yeah, I mean, this was basically a worst-case scenario for tonight. So, again, we just have to hope that was not nearly as significant as it looked, and that people stayed inside. But again, I mean, it's Friday night in a metro area, so sorry, I just realized my camera got knocked over. So we're going to do a little quick check here, make sure that we don't have any photos or videos of damage yet. Give me just a second here. Yeah, so as of right now, we don't have too much coming in just yet. Again, I mean, we had a pretty significant tornado there in a metro area for at least 10 to 15 minutes, so it's not too much of a stretch to say that this was a life-threatening situation. It's not really a stretch at all. Again, we're awaiting reports of damage. We don't have any quite yet. Again, this literally just happened, and, obviously it's going to be hard to get a stable Wi-Fi connection after, a tornado rolls through your area. But if you guys do have any reports of damage or any information from a credible source, feel free to put those in the chat. Helps out a lot. Oops. Can't get chat back up. But yeah, I mean, at this point, if you're in Dallas, I'd say the best move is to seek shelter. Again, even if there's not another spin-up tornado with this QLCS, damaging winds from 70 to 80 miles an hour are going to continue to batter this region. If we go ahead and turn back on our warnings here, you'll notice that is not your warnings box, Davis. We go ahead and turn back on the weather alerts here. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning for much of north central Texas. Let me go ahead and turn everything back on just real quickly here. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning going across much of north central Texas for areas like Cleburne and Hillsboro for damaging wind gusts up to 65 miles an hour. But if we go back up to our severe thunderstorm warning for the DFW Metroplex, that's a completely separate warning for damaging wind gusts up to 65 miles an hour. And I'm kind of surprised they didn't upgrade that to damaging wind gusts for 70 miles an hour, seeing as we had a report of 67 mile an hour wind gusts. Um, but yeah. I mean, this is again potentially a life-threatening situation for all of you guys out there in Dallas right now. I wasn't even trying to be funny. That's just what it actually was. What's up, Mr. Twister? Thank you for tuning in. Again, our area of rotation is broadened out to an extreme degree at this point. I mean, it's almost impossible that this is still actively producing a tornado, but I mean, that has room to change. And again, either way, you've got damaging wind gusts from 60 to 70 miles an hour, still impacting the DFW Metroplex. We just got another confirmed wind gust of 63 miles an hour from Westworth, Texas. That was about 17 minutes ago. So it seems like damaging winds from 60 to 70 miles an hour hit the entire city of Fort Worth, even if you didn't get impacted by that tornado there. But again, obviously in those areas where we saw the QLCS spin up move through, those wind gusts likely exceeded 60 to 70 miles an hour by a great margin. But yeah, I mean that was insane. That was insane. And again, a pretty unfortunate situation. Vincent wants to call. Let's do it. Hold up, Chet. I'm gonna rearrange everything here very quickly. I'm gonna flip my camera down. Still gonna be here, but I am gonna move things so that I'm not laying in this uncomfortable position. Give me just a second. We're gonna get set up at the normal desk. Again, I kind of just threw this together last second because I wasn't expecting to go live. But anyway. Alright, we'll throw this up here. And we got you guys. Put your camera right there like that. Hopefully you guys can see me. Let me know if everything sounds okay, looks okay. Oops. Gotta move you over a little bit. There we go. It's probably not an ideal view still, but I mean that's just what we have to work with for right now. So anyway, again, I'm gonna continue to watch damaging wind gusts from 60 to 70 miles an hour impact the DFW Metroplex. Again, we just saw that briefly unwarned QLCS tornado move through Fort Worth. And I mean, hopefully we had everybody just in general taking the situation seriously, even though they didn't know that it was a tornado ongoing. Again, unwarned tornadoes are obviously already a tragedy enough, but whenever it happens in, one of the largest metros in the entire country, it is a huge problem. And again, I know we've got people in the chat that said they have family and friends in Dallas, and I mean, obviously, that is unfortunately a very real possibility just because of how huge the DFW Metroplex is. Um, I mean, it is the entirety of the DFW Metroplex withholds millions and millions of people, guys. So, again, hopefully we did our best in assisting everybody here tonight. I think Vincent wanted to call, so we're going to try and get him up here. But yeah, if you're just now tuning in, make sure to like and subscribe. We do this every day for areas all across the country. And again, this QLCS extends all the way back through central and southern Texas. It's not like this is just a situation that's impacting the DFW Metroplex, but that is the most populated area. And that's the area where we just saw tornadoes. That's obviously where we're going to focus on for the most part. Now, again, I suspect that for the rest of the night, this is probably just going to be a straight line damaging wind risk. I don't necessarily expect any more QLCS tornadoes, but it's not an impossibility by any means. But again, either way, damaging winds 60 to 70 miles an hour. Nothing to play around with there. We gotta fix this. It's not ideal. Braden with the $2 donation. Thank you so much. W. Braden's in the chat. Good job, brother. I appreciate it. W's in the chat for Braden. Spam up those W's, everybody. Thank you so much for the $2 dono. Let's go. Thank you so much, though, for the $2 donation. That is epic. Again, W's in the chat. But anyway, again, I mean, I know I'm kind of just sitting here. There's not really much else in the way of referencing as of right now. Again, this QLCS is going to continue to impact much of eastern and south central Texas overnight. We're continuing to await reports of damage from the DFW Metroplex. Again, as of right now, we don't have any confirmed reports of significant damage, neither straight line wind nor related to the tornado. So, I mean, that might be a plus, I suppose. But unfortunately, that is almost certainly subject to change. Again, I don't foresee this being a unconsequential one. I mean, there are photos and videos of this thing coming out. This was not a small tornado, guys. Apparently the sirens are going off right now in Fort Worth. I don't know how accurate that source is, but that's what I'm seeing. If sirens are going off in Fort Worth, that is that is awful. Is like 30 minutes late, which is why we typically don't recommend that anybody relies on those. I mean, if the sirens are going off just now, that is kind of insane. That would not be ideal. We do have reports of power outages now from Fort Worth. Friends in Fort Worth confirmed that the sirens were going off for them as it was passing through Fort Worth. They live just southwest of I-20. Thank you for the information. That is actually pretty helpful. So, Hopefully the sirens went off as the tornado went through and not like 30 minutes after, like some sources are suggesting. But I mean, either way, that is not really ideal at all. And we had no tornado warning. These people had no heads up. This is one of the largest cities in the country. I mean, you've got millions of people out here in the track of this Boeing segment line of storms that, again, has had a history of producing at least one tornado. Again, I know we've got a lot of people in the chat with friends and family in Dallas. The best thing at this point would just to, take proper precautions, seek shelter. Obviously, you're not in a tornado warning, but damaging wind gusts up to 70 miles an hour. And again, these tornadoes that have happened have been unwarned. They've been hard to spot. They've been not warned even whenever they're a tad easier to spot. They are sneaky ones tonight. So if you're out there in Dallas at this point, pretend I'm in Dallas. I am seeking shelter. Again, you want to get on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Well, I'm not seeking shelter, but a normal person would seek shelter on the lowest floor of a sturdy building, away from windows, in an interior room. Again, all that clouded ground lightning out there as well. I mean, it is a light show out there tonight. What's Collin County looking at for the rest of the night? Collin. Is that... Okay, that is McKinney's county. So out there in Collin County, you're going to be hit by this same line of storms within the next 30 minutes. Heavy rain, lightning are going to be the main threats. Damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles an hour, also a possibility. Flash flooding, not out of the question. So make sure that you're staying safe out there. I would recommend staying up later, just in case of a worst case scenario. We, end up seeing power outages and whatnot. But it's not going to be quite as bad as your impacts like down in downtown DFW. Which, again, I mean, these storms, again, the worst of it, directly the worst of it is going through downtown Dallas-Fort Worth. It is amazing that that tornado occluded before it hit downtown Fort Worth, because if it stayed on the ground, again, it would have, the most likely scenario is that it would have gone down Sundance Square. I mean, that's about as close to a metro area as you get. I mean, again, it was in Metro Fort Worth, but it was very, very close to the center of the city. So again, we'll keep watching things here for a little bit longer. I don't think I set up our chasers. Yeah, you guys are watching old streams here. Hold on. Let's go ahead and fix that. So Freddy's not live. I thought he was. Is John live? Surely John's live, right? Yeah, so John is in Carrollton, Texas. So we'll go ahead and get John McKinney pulled up there. Again, we do have permission to use every Chaser's feed that we ever bring up here. We have permission to use their streams on the channel. Again, go subscribe to all these guys. I don't think Justin is chasing, no. Who else do we have? I don't think we have anybody that would be chasing out here. Freddie, John, Wind Dancer Media. What about... Why am I blanking? Who else? Oh, Stormrunner Media. I think they are chasing today. No? They had a stream scheduled. Maybe they're not. Okay. That's just a scheduled stream. But we'll go ahead and bring it up anyway. So again, shout out to John McKinney for allowing us to use his feed. Everybody go subscribe to him if you have somehow not already. Absolute goat. Now 28,000 people in Tarrant County without power. Yeah, that is significant. Oh shoot, I completely forgot about that, Vincent. That's my fault. Hold on. I was gonna call you and then I got distracted. Give me just a sec. Vincent. Somehow I can't find your contact on my iPad. Hold up. So I'm gonna text you a random letter. Alright. We should be getting Mr. Storm on the phone here now.
Hello?
What's up?
What's good? So was that a CC drop that moved from Dallas or Fort Worth?
Yeah, so we had a tornado on the ground for about 15 to 20 minutes. Not only was there a CC drop, but there were also like actual photos and videos of it. It was a rain-wrapped large tornado. Again, it moved through the south side of Fort Worth, but very close to downtown.
Who was on it?
I don't know if we had any chasers on it.
I mean, it completely stayed unwarned.
Yeah, I mean, they never threw out a warning for it or anything.
Again, this storm has turned completely outflow dominant, at least for the north side. All of that inflow that abruptly, spun up that tornado, it's been pushed out the back, basically. And so, at this point, we're likely talking about, again, a damaging wind threat, mostly for the Dallas metro area. However, I wouldn't say a couple, but perhaps one more tornado, spin-up tornado, cannot be ruled out here along this line later tonight. So we'll continue to watch, but again, nothing is imminent as of right now.
Yeah. So again, at this point, we're really just watching for a significant damaging wind threat across central Texas. Surprisingly, we only have 5 severe thunderstorm warnings. Now, 4 of those come from our one line of storms moving through far southwestern Texas. Most of these are for damaging wind gusts up to 70 miles an hour for areas near Rock Springs, Campwood, Bracketville, Spofford. If you guys are in these areas, you need to make sure that you are getting indoors and away from windows, even on velocities. We can actually measure the wind gusts just barely above the surface. We're very close to radar, so just barely above the surface at 80 miles an hour. So, again, I mean, make sure that you are taking this as seriously as possible, treating it like it's a tornado warning. Again, the same can't be said for our Dallas warning at this point, but just the fact that it is moving through a area with several million people is reason enough to keep an eye on it, obviously. So,
Yeah, we watched this, alluded to this a couple ago. Again, that pocket of kind of blue and deeper blue colors that you see here, this is where we're talking about, again, that threat for potentially wind gusts in excess of 70 miles per hour up towards 80 miles per hour. This is going to be going up towards areas south of Campwood, Texas. So, Highway 55, you guys are up next, north of Bracketville. Again, very strong, potentially near destructive pocket of damaging winds coming your way. I'm sure that John is calling for today for a while because he hasn't moved for a little bit.
what'd you say you could out?
I'm not sure if John quits or if he's just staying in the same area because he hasn't really moved for a while. And this line obviously is looking a lot less impressive than it did moments ago, so I don't know what he's planning, but
check forward Bedford. So Bedford, Texas at this point is going to be past the worst of it. I wouldn't be shocked if you got put under a flash flood warning. Areas like Weatherford, areas like Gainesville, Decatur, Texas, all these regions are now under a flash flood warning because not only are you dealing with this extremely torrential rainfall just now, but also last night you guys got hit by some intense thunderstorms as well. So again, flash flood warnings going up for much of the DFW Metroplex as our line continues to push further east, producing the same kind of rainfall. I wouldn't be shocked to see more of the same, potentially for areas even like downtown Dallas. I would not be super surprised to see a flash flood warning get issued.
yeah. And not stuff that you want to see. The DFW Metroplex, but at this point, its tornado threat is very low and near improbable here at this point. Again, the line looking a lot less impressive than it did. And there really have been a whole lot of areas of rotation that we've been able to point out and say, this looks concerning. I mean, there's just not been a lot of that recently, so at this point, it's mostly outflow dominant.
So, again, probably, at least I don't know about Vincent, but I'm probably not going to be here for a whole heck of a lot longer. Again, maybe we see another brief spin up tonight and I come back for like 30 minutes, but I would doubt that even happening. I, again, really wasn't planning on going live tonight at all just because the mode was so messy and sloppy. I would love to sit here and watch these damage reports coming in, but I think just because it is late at night, and again, obviously none of these areas have a great connection, we're not seeing any of those damage photos come out. And you don't have any chasers on this because this is downtown Fort Worth, Texas. No chaser wants to move through downtown Fort Worth, Texas. So we'll see what happens. Again, we are seeing photos and videos of the rain wrap monster left, right, and center, but actual photos and videos of damage are yet to be seen for the most part. We have like trees down and stuff, but that could just be straight line wind related. It may not honestly be until tomorrow morning that we see any valuable reports of significant damage.
Yeah, I mean, I'm scouting Twitter right now, and there are a whole lot.
But yeah, not a whole lot else to say there.
Yeah.
Trying to think if there's anything else that I need to throw out here, because again, I'm probably not going to be here for too much longer. Again, just kind of a brief little emergency update here. Should probably change the title.
Is it bad that the first thing I did when I saw that 67 mile per hour wind report was the 6-7 hands?
No, I did too.
I literally, I've been hearing so many 6-7 jokes today that for some reason that was the first thing that came to mind, and I feel really sad because that means I'm brain rotted.
Well, I mean, it's crazy because, like, I don't know. It's a great story.
It is crazy. Dude, whenever that tornado touched down, the reflectivity presentation was eye candy. Like, that was beautiful.
Yeah. Just a good rain coming in here from Mustang, Oklahoma. Some cloud-to-ground lightning. Other than that, a good rain, which is welcome. Yeah, all you guys out there in OKC, you guys got your action last night. You guys were dealing with those severe thunderstorms with that crazy hail that we were covering. And we didn't mention this on stream because this was kind of after we ended. I feel like I need to sneeze. But we did see a couple reports of large apple-sized hail from the east side of Oklahoma City last night. So, I mean, you guys got your significant severe thunderstorms last night. Tonight it was Dallas's turn. And again, unfortunately, things were quite a bit more extreme down here, not quite as tame with that unwarned tornado. So again, hopefully everybody out here took the warning seriously, the severe thunderstorm warning, I mean, because there was no warning for the tornado, but... Yeah.
And thankfully we have no Twitter reports at least structural damage, but that is likely just because we have no chasers in that area. Like David said, again, no chaser wants to chase a messy QLCS mode at 9:30 at night in Dallas, Texas. I mean, obviously, no one wants to do that. But by morning, we should likely get our first instances of damage again. If there were any, I mean, it seemed to be a pretty damaging tornado based off of what the debris signature looked like. So, again, hoping that the damage is limited, but we'll just have to see here in the morning.
Here are our chasers. We'll go ahead and full screen. Well, not full screen, but mostly screen John McKinney here. Again, he is in Carrollton, Texas right now. So this is live. This is updated to the second. If we go ahead and 3 times speed this. Again, he is chasing our QLCS line of thunderstorms here. But I think we'll kind of switch to his view here for the last several minutes of the stream, probably. It's not really a great way to do this.
Didn't you say earlier that there were actually some power outages occurring?
Yeah, so we've got about 30,000 customers in Tarrant County alone without power. That number's likely going to rise even further at the next update. And again, that's just the county that holds Fort Worth, so the numbers from Dallas County are likely going to be even higher than that. So, again, by the end of the night, we're going to have hundreds of thousands of people in total without power. Alright. Wish we had another chaser so we could pull that up here, but...
Yeah. I mean, W. John for literally going at anything.
Yeah, I mean, he is literally the only one that we have tonight. Everybody else is at home.
Grinding these days.
A lot of chasers are waiting for tomorrow, and I can't blame them. Tomorrow looks a lot nicer, but...
Yeah.
Anyway.
I know in South Central Texas, making the long drive.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming he's going for tomorrow.
Yeah, and Stormwater Media has a stream scheduled for tomorrow as well.
Oh, okay. I know Jordan's down there, Connor, the whole gang.
I could probably bring up our own stream chat here in the bottom. Hold on.
Excuse me, guys.
But again, thank you to Braden for the $2 donation.
W. Brayton.
Again, I mean, we are probably not going to be here for too much longer, so we'll see.
Yeah, I'd like to stay here myself for like another 9 minutes just so I can hit an hour of streaming. Usually that's what I like to be the minimum for my streams. So. Dude, someone was arguing with me on Twitter because apparently when I said that life-threatening and potentially catastrophic impacts towards Jamaica are looking possible, they literally said that I should shut up and that I don't know what I'm talking about because I'm just a kid and Jamaicans can handle a Category 4 to Category 5 hurricane. I just...
Okay. We've got an absolute downpour here on John McKinney's stream. Again, I mean, they are just getting hammered by that torrential rainfall. Again, this is in Carrollton, which, if I'm not mistaken, is North DFW. Yeah, so just north of Dallas, yeah, they're getting in on some of those
Wow.
torrential rainpours.
Look at that, guys. That's coming off of the gas station awning. It's leaking, actually. That is going to cause some serious flash flooding. You can see the wind whipping around all that caution tape. That is a lot of water.
Sorry, guys, I'm trying to figure out how I want to do this. Okay. So we'll put you there, Mr. John McKinney. But yeah, I mean, in general, we are not worried about too much else tonight.
I like how he's purposely putting his windshield in the front of that. Dang.
Likely brief funnel or tornado occurred in West Carrollton.
That's just south of John. I was anything.
You want to elaborate on that, Carrot? Just let me know what you're referring to. Terminal radar tight couplet briefly. Hold up. Let's check her out. Yeah, so what I would say to that is that was, again, certainly that is a really tight couplet, but the terminal radar does like to overdo things sometimes. So I wouldn't necessarily say that that was a guaranteed tornado. And again, I know you didn't say that, but I would say that it's certainly a possibility. That's a good call out there again. Honestly, the terminal radar is probably the best thing to be looking at right now to catch those little QLCS rotations, but...
Can says max velocity is reporting another tornado on the ground.
I would guess it's this west of Carrollton here.
So, again, nothing confirmed, but we could have something trying to develop approaching John's location. He's actually just north of there, guys.
So we're going to full screen again here. Supposedly another tornado potentially ongoing west of Carrollton, Texas. Again, this is on the north side of the DFW Metroplex now. So if you're in this area, make sure you are seeking shelter immediately north of Carrollton along I-35 East.
Wow, John is hammered by gusty winds right now. And torrential rainfall. I mean, those are gnarly.
Yeah, again, as I said earlier, I would almost place money that a flash flood warning is going to be issued for these areas here pretty soon. We also do have a very weak couplet. Looks like trying to get going near Lancaster, Texas, potentially, so we'll keep an eye out on that as well. But again, I'm much more concerned, obviously, about this potential ongoing tornado. If we look from the other terminal radar, we aren't getting scans as frequently, which is a bit of a problem. It looks like things are broadening out. It looks like a brief tornado may have just happened, though. So again, we may have just had another brief weak tornado near Carrollton. At this point, it's safe to say that everybody in Dallas should, at the very least, be indoors. But again, preferably away from windows on the lowest floor possible. I mean, this is, you're not going to want to be outside in this, obviously, just because of the rain, but, I mean, there's a lot more to it than that. But yeah, we'll keep an eye out on that there for a few more minutes. I think I might try to get my stream out to an hour as well.
Yeah. Again, likely we'll see these flash flood warnings kind of follow up out here into Fort Worth and Dallas due to this very heavy rainfall.
Yeah, I mean, that was a pretty tight couple there for a second near Valley Ranch. We had gate-to-gate shear at about 92 miles an hour. So,
I mean, yeah, it's definitely a possibility. Again, if Max did actually, if that caught his eye, then would not be shocked if we saw a very brief spin up.
and again, guys, if there was another brief spin up there, it would have been much, much more brief than the one that we had several minutes ago. This would be near the Avenue of Champions, areas like Rodeo Drive, Valley Ranch in general. Again, the National Weather Service office in Fort Worth would be relatively close to this, or I guess in sorry, that's not a National Weather Service office. We're looking at a terminal radar, but anyway.
I didn't realize that it was so close. I was looking at the wrong thing earlier. It was literally like a couple feet outside of the radar circle. It looks like, whatever you want to call that. Yes, this sun rotation has gotten much more broad here.
Yeah, and at this point, your rotation is going to be much further north. So now we're looking at this area of broad circulation near Hebron, Texas. Give me just a second, guys. I accidentally switched my chat over to John's stream.
Good job to Carrot, though, for pointing that out.
Yeah, W call out. Okay, we're going to go ahead and go back to... You know what, let's get this a little bit more cleaned up for next stream, so whenever we actually do have a serious situation going on, we got something to work with. So we'll put the two streams right here.
John's getting very strong gusts. Horizontal rainfall right now, guys. Oh gosh. Wow. So the caution tape that dude, look at that coming off the truck. Wow. Look at all this, guys. Look at all that caution tape that just got like completely detached. Wow. Dude, he's getting hammered right now. This is what it looks like in northern Dallas. Are you seeing this, Davis?
Yeah.
Look at all that whipping around out there.
Okay.
The garbage can is going crazy. Again, you can see just... Dude, that's insane. Look at all of that rain coming off the gas station, dude. Lots of W's here, man. Appreciate it. Wow. That's really kind, everybody.
We'll take Radar Omega. There we go. That's what we wanted to do. So we got the radar now. And now we got a nice little four-way camera. We can work on the dimensions next stream, or in between streams would be the best thing to do.
Sweet.
So again, pretend that this one in the top left here is a another chaser stream. Then we got the face cam, another chaser, radar. I like that.
Guys, I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if it's cut off by the stuff I've got on the right side of the stream, but you can see the water getting pushed off of that truck there by the wind. Gives you guys an idea of how strong it is. Oof. What is happening? Oh my gosh.
See, the problem with this now is we can't full screen on the radar. Yeah, we're going to change that.
It literally looks like he's like under a waterfall right now. Dude, look the trees just around.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy. Again, that is a live look from the north side of Dallas, Texas. That is John McKinney there. I mean, that is insane.
Now you can see those trees again. Really starting to get some gusty winds. Insane stuff. There's a guy standing with the door open, just watching it.
What's up, Justin R? How's it going? I was hoping to see you out there tonight. This isn't quite your territory, though, I guess.
Again, guys, there's really not a whole lot left to mention here, so I'm probably going to end up ending off the stream here. Just continuing to watch John's stream for a little bit. But, yeah, I really don't see much.
It's way too far. Yeah, I feel that. We do now have a report of a large tree downed in Fort Worth.
I said that at the exact same time. Alrighty. Well, I think I'm going to end off the stream here. So I appreciate all of you for tuning in. Pretty successful live stream. Stay tuned for more updates on Hurricane Melissa. Obviously, a extremely dangerous storm system we're going to be talking about for quite a while here. So, again, make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you go subscribe to Davis. Thank you, Sandra, for tuning in. Sorry that you kind of had to catch the end of the live stream here, but I think I can set up a raid here, so I'll send you guys over to Davis's stream.
Oh, I was just about to end off, too.
Oh, okay. Well, do you want to just do that instead?
Do what? Just end?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I guess I'll do my outro here, too. Thank you all for tuning in. Again, stay safe out there tonight. Probably going to be live here around the same time tomorrow. Actually, maybe even a little bit later than this tomorrow. As we watch for our supercells to fire across the Gulf Coast. But thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you guys on the next stream. Have a great rest of your night, chat. Peace out.